Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. South Plains has just defeated Angelina 79-70. We now know 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four. Honored to have head coach Hayden Sowers with us from South Plains. Coach Sowers, thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate y'all having me. I know when we win, we get to sit over here, so hopefully we can do it twice more.
There you go. All right, I want to get right to it. 57 all in the second half. Didier Malang comes into the game, hits a huge jump shot. I'm glad that you freed him. You said, hey, Didier, I want you to shoot that jump shot, 15-18 baseline, big shot.
He can make those. He's
nice
made them all
shot.
year. And we talked the other night about sacrifice and activity with him. I mean, IJ gets in foul trouble. Diddy's got 6 and 8. We don't win the game without Diddy.
So he follows that up, and I believe I have my sequence right here in my notes. He then gets an offensive rebound, kicks it out to Ricks for an assist, and in the matter of a few seconds, he's responsible for 5 points. So there's 2 guys off your bench that were absolutely huge in this win for you tonight.
Effort and toughness. One of the keys was extra plays, getting extra plays. Diddy goes out there, gets 5 offensive rebounds. I see IJ with 4, Tyrio with 4. Those extra possessions probably helped us win the game.
One of the things that I really enjoyed watching in this game, you really got Angelina in the paint. You outscored them 38-20 in the paint. Angelina is one of the best teams defensively in the entire country, and they got big, strong guys inside. So you got to feel really good about what you were able to do to get inside the paint and make it happen.
Statistically, they're the best defensive team in the country. And we talked at halftime, let's not shoot 10 more threes. Let's keep putting pressure on the paint, pressure on the officials to make calls. And we ended up shooting 28 free throws, which is our game plan. Pressure on the paint, force the refs to make calls. I think we got in the bonus in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the half, and that's always helpful.
You know, Christian Jones has been one of the best players in the tournament so far. You guys pretty well were able to bottle him up. Talk a little bit about that defensive pressure that you guys talked about coming into this game.
Well, first off, he's a heck of a player. I mean, we played them already this year, and he beat us by himself. So the guys knew. We did some different things schematic-wise out of our zone to try to take him out of a rhythm, to try to limit his rhythm threes. I think it worked, 3 of 12, only 9 points, which is he went for 25-26 yesterday.
Yeah, great game all around from your guys. Everybody contributed. You know, John Awoke comes off the bench, gets 15 minutes as well. IJ Azuma all season, kind of the unsung hero, I think, of your team. Rebounding, points in the paint, that toughness that he brings. You know, and you can't run sets for everybody all the time. And IJ has just probably done about as much as you could ask of him inside. I know you got a lot more to ask of him for 2 more nights.
Yeah, you know, I think IJ is probably the most underrated player in the country, in my opinion. 14 and 10. The kid he was playing, 21's a heck of a player too. And when we challenged him and Diddy to win that, if we can win that spot, then we feel like we can win the game. And IJ's a heck of a player. He can pass, he can shoot. Great free throw shooter, great touch. Happy for him. Him and Diddy have both sacrificed a ton playing with these guys, and for them to have good games at Hutch to lead us to the Final Four is pretty sweet.
And one of the guys that jumps out to me, just looking at the stat sheet here, Isaac Tavares with a plus 20. Didn't get to play a lot because of foul trouble, about 21 minutes, but he put up 14 points and 5 boards in pretty limited action for him. Very efficient offensively in his time today.
When Isaac wants to shoot a layup, he can shoot a layup whenever he wants. That's been the thing all year. Explosive, that burst, and he's been doing that all year. You know, even the layups that I tell him to hold it out during the press, and he runs in there and makes 2 of them. So happy they went in.
What was your conversation like with Caleb Blackwell at halftime, needing him to kind of take on that leadership role and get everybody moving to the same direction?
Me and Caleb have a unique relationship. You know, Caleb is me. We're both energetic, we're both passionate, we're both fiery, and we can talk to each other in ways that player coach not often can talk to each other. And I basically told him, man, we can't win without your leadership. Let's set the example this game by your play. And he did that. I don't know what he had at halftime, but finals 8 and 6, and he was the best player on the court, I thought, in the second half.
And he had 6 assists, right? I mean,
yeah.
you put a lot of responsibility on him to get guys the ball in the right space, to organize everything, and he's just a terrific player to watch.
Absolutely. His mom surprised. We've had a couple players whose parents have surprised. IJ's dad, Caleb's mom, TJ's dad. It's awesome to see. It's a beautiful thing about junior college basketball, when they get to see their parents there that haven't been able to see them all year, and then they go out and perform like that and lead us to the Final Four.
Coach, congratulations. Welcome to the Final Four. Got Connor State on Friday. There's going to be a lot of orange here.
Yep.
We wish you the best. We're excited for you and your team. Go enjoy this one with the guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach. That is Coach Hayden Sowers with South Plains. We now know 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four. The 4-seed South Plains will take on the 17-seed Connor State. The 7th seed Trinity Valley, tongue twister for me, who's been the 2nd-ranked team the majority of the season, is going to take on the winner of this game. Either conference rival Panola, who they've already played 3 times, or the 14th-seeded Vincennes University Trailblazers.
Yeah, this is going to be a slugfest out here. These are 2 of the most physical teams in the country, not just the tournament. I just think it's really cool to have Joe Kuligowski, young up-and-coming head coach.
He's like the young Todd Franklin.
He's the young Todd Franklin. I don't know.
Not that Todd's that old. Todd's got a lot of good basketball left.
and the legendary national champion Todd Franklin.
Yep.
But it is interesting the gap between them as far as age goes. I guess I'm saying that in the nicest way possible. But for them to play a similar brand of basketball, that transcends the time.
Someone told me they thought this week the 2 most impressive wins of the tournament so far has been Panola's, the way that they handled Frank Phillips, and the way that Vincennes' aggressive style of bowling the ball in there against Indian Hills. So we have maybe the two most impressive wins. The teams are going at it. I'm really excited in this game. I want to watch the 2 left-handed point guards for Vincennes, LeBron Thomas, for Panola, Coy Thurman. I think these guys for junior college basketball, as good as it gets, they're going to drive, not necessarily to score for themselves. They're driving to get good shots for everyone else on their team. For Panola, that's going to be the Terrain Train. Travis Terrain. For Vincennes, that's going to be Travell Bryson, Michael Cooper, some of their wing players. Going to be really exciting to see who the complementary pieces are to kind of the stars, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, these are the kinds of teams that can go 1 through 7 and have major contributions. They're not necessarily going to play a huge amount of bench depth, but the guys that do come in, any one of them can have a major impact.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know who the star is going to be. I just saw an El St. Bernard walk by us. He's been terrific all season long. He's a great defensive player, like NBA-level defensive player, versatility.
Headed to Indiana State next year.
And then for Vincennes, you got Brian Akonmu, Hussein Amaraji, right? These are ultimate glue guys. I know there's a lot of Division I coaches out here who are trying to build their roster, maybe not looking for superstars, but good quality basketball players that can be rotational pieces. There's a ton of really good Division I basketball players that are going to be on this court coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the best part about all this, is these kids playing their way into some life-changing situations. We know about a couple guys on this court tonight that they don't even know yet that their life's about to change. So really excited.
We know they have offers coming. They do not know they have offers coming.
And I'm not telling right now.
We're not going to reveal it here, but good things are about to happen for some of these kids.
Absolutely. And it's just so awesome to see.
It really is. All right, guys, stay with us. We have we have one final basketball game until we know the Final Four. As soon as the game is over, we'll have the winning coach here, and we'll know exactly who our Final Four is. We have more great junior college basketball ahead of us this evening. Panola, Vincennes. A great night in Hutchinson, Kansas.